Welcome to Formula 1 Maths and to Past Exam Question 001 for the foundation tier. Question number 1. Solve 5 minus x over 2 equals to 2x minus 7. So the first thing we do is to move this 2 to that side. And because it's dividing here, when it goes over there, it multiplies. So we'll get this. Then we expand the brackets to get 5 minus x equal to 4x minus 14. The next step will be to collect like terms. So we're going to get 5 plus 14, because the minus 14 comes over here to be plus 14, and minus x goes over there to become plus x. Then we simplify to get 19 is equal to 5x. We need to solve for x. So we move the 5 to the other side of the equation, and it goes to divide. So we get x equals 19 over 5. You can write this as a mixed fraction, and that would be 3/4 over 5. And then you can use calculator to evaluate to get 3.8. So that is question 1. Question 2. We need to use the rules of indices here for all the 3 questions. So let me remind you of them by putting it up here. So the first one, we use rule number 1. So m to the power 3 times m to the power 4, using rule number 1, can be written as m to the power 3 plus 4. And so we evaluate that to get m to the power 7. For question 2b, we need to raise all the items in the brackets to the power 3. So 5 cubed is here, and cubed is there, and the p cubed must be cubed as well to get that. So for 5 cubed, we get 125, and cubed will remain n cubed. And for this one here, we need to use rule number 3. And as you can see, we will have to multiply 3 by 3 to get p to the power 9. Our final answer will be this. For C, it would be good to rewrite this as 32 over 4 times q to the power 9 over q to the power 3 times r to the power 4 over r to the power 1. We did not need to write this as power 1. But just for clarity, I've put it here because some students are tempted to think that it's 0. It's not, it's 1. So from here, we can go and use rule number 2 to evaluate these ones here. Now we know that 32 over 4 is equals to 8. Now q to the power 9 divided by q to the power 3, which looks like rule number 2, is actually the same as q to the power 9 divided by q to the power 3. So we go and subtract the powers as we can see here. And if you do that, we get q to the power 9 minus 3, and that is q to the power 6. For this one here, we use the same rule here, rule number 2, r to the power 4 divided by r to the power 1 is the same as r to the power 4 minus 1, and that is r to the power 3. So our answer will be 8q to the power 6, r to the power 3. Question 3. Here is a triangular prism. Work out the volume of the prism. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Let me remind you that the volume of a triangular prism is the cross-sectional area times the length. The length of the prism is very obvious, but what about the cross-sectional area? This is the cross-sectional area. In this case, it's a right-angled triangle. It's the cross-sectional area because it runs through the whole length of the prism, like that. So we need to find the area of the right-angled triangle. Before we can do that, we need to find this length here, x. Now, how do we find the length x? We use Pythagoras Theorem. Let me remind you of Pythagoras Theorem. If you have a triangle like this, and this is your A, and this is B, and this is C. C is the hypotenuse, the longest side. Pythagoras Theorem says that, as is stated here, A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So we're going to use that to get this length, x. So using Pythagoras Theorem, we have x squared plus 7.2 squared is equal to 8.4 squared. Then solving for x, you're going to get the square root of 8.4 squared minus 7.2 squared. Evaluating will give you 4.3. So x is 4.33. Now we can find the area of the triangle, because we know that the area of a triangle is half times the base times the height. For this triangle, the base is 4.33, we've just found, and the height is 7.2. So the area of the triangle is half times 4.33 times 0.2, which happens to be the area of the cross-section of the prism. So if we evaluate that, we're going to get 15.6. So now that we've got the area of the cross-section, we go and multiply it by the length, according to this formula here, to get the volume of the prism. So let's go and do that. We get that, and then evaluate to get 280 centimeters cubed. Be careful to state your units. Very important. Okay, this is the end of past exam questions 001 for the foundation tier. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.